Welcome to the PV Tools tutorial. I'm going to get started by showing you how to get a hold of your copy of PV Tools, and then we'll get into the installation section. First, you're going to browse to our website, pvmods.com, click on the Mods tab, and you will pull up a list of mods, and somewhere in that list, right here, you should see the PV Tools option. Click on PV Tools. You will have a button, go to download, which will go to the external download site on MediaFire. You want to click that button, and then you will see a blue button right here to download PV Tools. When you click that, you may get a pop-up window. You do not need, you can close it if you get one. And you'll see that it downloaded pvtools.zip. I am going to go to where it downloaded on my system, which is in my downloads folder. I am going to copy the zip file to my desktop. And there we have it. And then you're going to want to extract that file with a zip extractor. I will extract it, and there you'll get a folder for PV Tools. That is what you need to do to get the download. Then once you have this folder, wherever you put it on your system, just double click to open it. There's another PV Tools folder inside it. You will see a setup.exe file. You're going to want to double click the setup.exe. We are currently working on getting licensing information, so this will not happen, but for now, if you get this pop-up, you're going to want to click on more info and then run anyway. This will install the application. As you can see here, publisher has not been verified. Click the install button and it will install PV Tools to your system. And once again, it protected your PC. Run anyway, and you will have your copy of PV Tools installed and ready to go. If at any time you want to uninstall PV Tools, it is saved in your control panel. You can go to your programs and features, and if you scroll down, you will notice that there is a option for PV Tools, which you can right click and uninstall it. Currently, when it first runs, it is set to the default folder. One other note about installation: if you get a pop-up that asks you where your PV Tools is installed, that means that the program did not find your PV Tools installation, and you are going to have to browse for it yourself. Normally, it would be under your documents. Whoops, let's come up here. Documents, My Games, Farming Simulator 2019. That is the folder that we would link to if you get that pop-up. Yours may not be on your C drive and it may not find it, so you will have to find that folder if that little pop-up. But if it's a default installation folder like mine is, it will automatically select the proper folder. Once you have PV Tools running, there are a set of folder buttons here that you can customize. What you're going to do is click the select folder button. Now, we're going to go through a few different options for setting up your default folders. One of the ways you can do it is clicking the change folder button and then browse through and find the folder that you want to set up. First one, I'm going to set it up with my basic folder that I work out of, which is my PV new map folder. You can give it the name. Well, new map. You can also come in and set the button color. Here, we'll use this nice blue here, and you can set your text color as well to whatever you want it to be. And you can click here when finished, and you'll notice I have a new folder link to that folder. If this is your very first time running PV Tools, what I would suggest for you to do is find a location either on your desktop or whatever method, any place that you want to store your folders. I'm going to do it on the desktop, for example, and I'm going to call this one a default mods. All right. What I would do, because your mods are already installed in the default location, documents, my games, Farming Simulator 2019, you would have your mods all in this mods folder. Copy any of the mods that are in there and put them into the default mods folder, and then create a new link to the PV Tools by selecting folder. And you can literally drag and drop is another option. Press the button color to set it to whatever you want, and text color I'll leave it black, and click here when finished. So now you can use the default mods that you took out of the one folder and put into that folder, and all the PV Tools operations can be used on that folder, such as updating automatically and so forth. Other options for setting up your buttons. We'll set up another one here. We'll select folder. If we click change folder and we browse to test 3, we'll use test 3, click OK. Name to appear on the button, test 3. Button color. You can also expand the button color and do any custom color of the rainbow that you would like. You want to do an orange button. And here is an additional option that you will see in this menu, which is copy mods from favorites folder. So if you often want to use the same set of mods throughout different maps and such, that is what this here is used for. You can set up a favorites folder on your desktop or wherever you have it. I have one right here. Copy the mods that you frequently use into that favorites folder, and then they can instantly be added to any mods folder with the touch of a button. So what I have here is all the mods that are not part of my PV County map that I do like to use, and they're all in this favorites folder setting. Once you have a favorites folder set up, which you have to set up in your options. Here, I'm going to click here to cancel. We'll do this one over. You're going to select your favorite mods folder by browsing to it, clicking on the favorites mod, and once it is set, you can now use that folder to copy those mods into any folder that you want to update. So now if we go to select, we're going to make our test 3 folder again, change the button color to this orange, sure. And now I can copy my mods to this test 3 from my favorites folder by clicking the copy mods. If there's anything that it finds, you will be notified to replace, skip, or let you decide. I am going to do replace files in the destination, and it will update from all the favorites that I have. Simple as that. Then you can click here when finished. You have the new test 3 button. So now I have 3 different mod folders linked. My PV new map, one that links to this folder, one that links to an empty default mods folder right there. Many of these settings are very, very easy to do. if you need to delete a button, you have a reset a button, and you would click on that, click button to reset, and I can go and now remove the default mods button, and it no longer shows up. What you will see is the current folder was set because I deleted it back to the default folder. Whenever you have a folder selected, you will see a little mark on which folder is selected on the side, little green mark to let you know which folder is the current folder that it will be loading up PV to when you launch your game. So if I was to launch Farming Simulator, it will currently use this PV folder. All right. So that's the basic use of PV tools for getting your mod folders set up. I'm going to create a new button. We'll relink our default mods. Select folder. I'm going to just drag and drop this right here. And we're going to give it a button color that's different from my other ones. And I will copy mods from my favorite folder to the default mods for the first time. And we are complete. So now I have a link to all the default mods are already in there. For those of you who are using PV County, we'll click here when finished. There is a very simple way to keep your map up to date. You will go into your options settings, and you can sync your PV County into the current active folder. So before you do that, make sure you have a folder that you want to synchronize and get the latest PV County updates into. And then just go to options, sync PV County into current active folder, and confirm sync to current folder. It can take up to 5 minutes. That is wrong. It all depends on your internet connection. We will have that fixed. It could take several minutes, but you want to confirm and click yes, and you will get a window that will tell you what's going on. You can see now all the files that it's downloading, and if there's a download success or a failure, and it will put all of the PV County mods directly into the folder. And we'll just wait here until it is done. Okay, now that we're done downloading, you'll get a little pop-up that says update complete. Simply click the OK button. Sync is complete. You can now close your options menu, and if we were to look in our default mods folder, we will have all of the Pleasant Valley County files, including mixed in with my favorites. I suggest that anybody that wants to get PV tools or PV County updates real easy, do it this method. It will simply, anytime you run the options to sync PV County in the current folder and click yes. If there is nothing, it will show nothing and it'll be update complete. But if you have any file that is outdated or missing, and I'll show you what will happen. Say it, I have, for some reason, I was missing this beverage storage mod here, and we'll do another one, the caviar cold storage. If you were missing those two, you'll notice when I run PV County sync into the folder, it downloaded the beverage storage and the caviar cold storage, and that's it. So it once again made sure that I had the latest and every single file that we release in the PV County mod pack. All right, so we've covered everything with the basics of PV tools. You just simply, at this point, would select the folder you want to launch the game out of, and it will launch with the folder that you have selected. Some of the additional features of PV tools include open current folder. So if ever you want to know where you might have it buried on your system, you can simply select the test3 folder. It will open it and jump you right to where all of your mods are for easier access. There is a link that will open your log file as well. So if you want to check your log file to see if there's anything going on, or if you're going to fill out a support ticket and we request your log file, you can easily load up your log file, and you can then browse through whichever editor program. I recommend you link Notepad++ to your opening of text files. It makes it much easier to read, but there's my log file right there. So quick access to your log file. There is a folder backup option. This is really used to back up. You can use it to back up any program or folder on your system to the cloud. We originally used this because we had an in-house server and we wanted to make sure that that in-house server was not at my home address but at a friend of mine's home address, but I was the one that was doing the updates to it. So what I did was I ran this on the server, and we went to select folder to copy, and we went to the documents, my games, Farming Simulator 2019, and took the save game folder, and I saved. He put a backup location on Dropbox for holding, and we can make a new one. Backup, select OK. So I had access to the Dropbox folder, and this program here would automatically copy what was on his computer up into Dropbox where I could download it. You could do that for anything if you wanted to. You just need to keep this running. So you can select the interval. You could back up every minute, every 5 minutes, 15, 30 minutes, or 1 hour. And then you could select the number of copies to keep, and you could have it keep up to 50 copies. So you could go back if you say you had it set to every 1 hour to keep 50 copies, then you'd have 50 hours of backups in that folder on the Dropbox. I'm going to set up 1 and 1. Well, we'll set 2 copies to keep, and then you just simply click the start backup. It'll say backup is running, and you have to leave this running in order for the automated backup process on the computer that you're going to run it on. I'm going to go browse to my Dropbox. In the backups folder, and you will notice that every minute, we'll have to wait a couple minutes, but it will automatically zip up that Save Game 1 folder and make a copy of it in the backup location that you selected. There is a new feature, Server Mods Download. Now, with this, you would need to, I'm not going to do the complete run through, but if you have a link to a server page, you would need the address for that server page, and it will be, for instance, 192.147.1 whatever dot blah blah blah, and slash, and then it has the port number 7777 for example. You would paste that into this box and then press download from current URL, and it will download all server files into whatever folder you had selected. That is a new feature. We'll have more on that, I'm sure. If you have the address correct, what it's going to do is, depending on how many mods, it can take a real long time. I'm not going to get completely into it, but I did do one earlier. If your address is wrong, it may throw an error currently. If your address is correct, it will pause and it will download a complete list of, you'll see one file in the server mods folder, and when it's done downloading, it will extract that file and you'll have all the individual mods that were set up on that server ready to go. So that is how the server mods download gets used. Screenshots is coming soon and not existing. Options, you have your favorite mods, and we discuss that, and sync PV County into current active folder. If you don't have PV Tools, a link to it on your desktop, you can pin it to your taskbar. You can open the file location, and you can copy and create a shortcut right on your desktop. That's what I usually do, so I can run it from here. So there's my PV Tools copy. Now I can run it easily. Installation folder was not found. I've had this happen before. This is what will happen. We got a little bit of a bug in here. This is what could happen. So, like I said, if this button pops up when you do an install or when you rerun it, go to your Documents folder, My Games, Farming Sim 2019, and click OK. All right, now we have the correct one. Settings, game settings, there we go. Now we have additional game settings that we could set. Easy arm control, true to false, steer back speed. Some of these, like the horse abandon timer, are not available in the actual game settings, so you can change when the horses abandon you. They'll stay in the same place for 2 hours to 15 minutes to 2 hours, depending on what you set, before they go back to their farm. How long your motor will run when you get out of a vehicle, etc., etc. Other settings you have are developer controls, enabled, disabled. You can turn them on and off very easily. If you have them enabled, you'll be able to use the tilde key in your game, and it will bring up the developer controls menu. Also in PV Tools, you have the socials menu, where you can find any of us who are streaming PV Community simply by visiting our webpage. It will pop up directly to the webpage for our streamers. We look to do more of this in the future. You can also visit our YouTube, Facebook, or our website from links as well.